An entire year's gone by, and of all the crazy stuff that's come and gone, I never thought I'd say a free-to-play gacha would become one of my favorite games of all time. Or that in just a few months, I'd already hit 1,000 subs on this channel. Thanks a ton, y'all. It's been a blast so far. This video is a time capsule of a dolphin turned whale who started playing day 1, September 28th, 2020, and has played every day for the past year with the one hiatus, but we'll get to that. This is part flex, part Q&A for all the new Andys to the channel, part documentation of the ungodly amount of time and money I've sunk into this godforsaken game. It's 3 AM and I've lost all control over my life and my wallet, so let's talk about it. As of October 2021, I have every character except Kokomi, Hutao, and Klee. But I have 120 wishes saved up, and I'm totally getting Hutao and Tomo when their banner drops, so Klee and Kokomi are the only 2 banners I've skipped. On this account, but I also have Kokomi on my alt, so Klee's really the only character I don't have, and I don't plan on pulling for. There will be no war criminals on this team, young lady. Now come on, child, let's get the fuck out of here. Out of my 16 5-stars, 10 of them have at least one con. So that's Raiden, Yoimiya, Ayaka, Kazuha, Child, Venti, Kaching, Diluc, and Mona. I don't have C6 with any of them. My highest is Mona at C4, and I'll share more on how that happened in the history section. I have all 20 current 4-star characters, and have C6 with 14 of them. Barbs, Razor, Shangling, Beidou, Xingqiu, Fischl, Benny, Zhongyun, Sucrose, Diona, Xinyan, Rosaria, Yanfei, and Sayu. To no one's surprise, I'm still missing all of the Fafoni's goons, but hey, that said, I am at C5 with Amber, so it'd be sick if I got that C6 soon. I'm getting closer to Ningguang C6 with her current 4, and Sara? Dude, I got scammed so hard with Sara. I have more cons with Raiden than I do with Sara. I guess if anything, I was just practicing for my Ito roleplay to get shafted by Sara. Hey girl, could Joe get into my pocket? Huh? Right? Out of the current 24 5-star weapons, I have exactly half of them, and a dupe of Skyward Blade and Skyward Atlas. Primordial Jade Spear was my very first 5-star weapon, and I was pissed when I got it. This was during 1.0 when the only spear user was Shangling, so I didn't have any use for it. Once I got John Wick, I realized how lucky I was and how much of a blessing any 5-star weapon pull can be, but man, at the time I felt so gypped. It was a while before I got another 5-star, but that came in December with Wolf's Gravestone, and as a Diluc main, I was hyped. I didn't start pulling on weapon banners until 1.6, and as you can see, I basically pulled on every one of them since then. The only exception is the current Polar Star banner, because even as a child main, I can't justify getting Polar Star since I already got Thundering Pulse, and I don't really care about having Memory of Dust either. Out of the current 65 4-star weapons, I have 41 of them. I have most of the limited event weapons, except I'm missing Wind Blue mode, which isn't that big of a deal because it's not like an amazing weapon or best in slot on anyone, but it still feels kind of bad. I'm missing all of the Black Cliff and Royal weapons, I haven't crafted any of the new Inazuman weapons, and I haven't picked Solar Pearl from the BP yet. I have 17 weapons maxed out at 90, and another 4 at 80, so in total 21 viable weapons. I've been in a pretty tight Mystic Ore deficit since maxing out Jade Cutter, and that's not going to change anytime soon because I am getting Staff of Homa, and I am going to have to max it out post-haste. Now, some general stats. I'm at AR 56, about to hit 57 in probably a week and a half. For my achievements, I was holding strong at the funny weed number, but then I did a bunch of the Surumi Ghost Island quests, and then a couple other miscellaneous things, and now I've ruined it, and now it sucks. But in terms of any specific achievements, the only one you need an update on is that I'm almost halfway done with the fishing one. Almost halfway done. Exploration progress and reputation levels are all maxed out, and I am still missing a couple world quests that come from those hidden commission objectives. Like, Victor, I'm begging you, just let me in, dude! Outside of that though, I'm up to date on all quests, hangouts, and domains. I have 44 name cards, 17 from level 10 companionship with the boys, and I'm getting pretty close to snagging Jean and Raiden's cards too. I have 106 level 20 artifacts, which I feel like isn't much compared to the big Genshin YouTubers and whales, but hey, it's still 28,620,000 more's worth of artifacts, so it's a bit. Not gonna lie, I got a couple juicers in there, but again, I'll save that for the separate video that goes more in depth on all of my builds and stuff. I'm pretty low on most mats, 564 Heroes Wits, 240 Mystic Ores, and before 2.2, I literally had 13 more to my name at one point, at least before Shiki Taisho stuffed my pockets. Aw, thanks, buddy.
I love you too! I love
I haven't used a single crown because I have severe commitment issues. I'm doing pretty well in dream solvents at 24 of them, and I have 2 of every weapon billet and 5 sword billets. Is that how you pronounce that, by the way? Is it billets? I'm technically a teapot tuber, so I guess I'll scroll through my furnishings list. Not a whole lot to note though, because I'm still working on finding all the new Surumi Island blueprints. I have an obscene amount of hydro and geo crystals, but I'm starving for anima ones, which sucks because I really want to build Shao. I've consistently 36 starred Abyss for the past 3 months. Yoimiya, Child, Kazuha, Benny, Xingqiu, Ayaka, Venti, and Mona are all my go-to goons, with Diona, Zhongli, and his brother Sucrose, Raiden, Beidou, Fischl, and Jean subbed in where they're needed. I haven't really touched Ganyu, Diluc, Keqing, or Shangling in a hot minute, but they're built up and Abyss ready. I'm just kind of a neglectful poobah. Everybody else is either too low leveled or I haven't touched their talents yet. I really want to build Shao next, and once I get him juiced up, I'll probably build Eula after him. My top 5 characters to play as, in order, are Yoimiya, Child, Kazuha, Ayaka, and Beidou. Again, I'll be going over all my main builds of these 19 goods and their artifact stats in a separate video so that this one isn't too bogged down on time. And there you have it. How the $2,000 in the title factors into everything is its own beast. So let me take you through my journey. I started as a starry-eyed, free-to-play Andy for 2 weeks, literally because my bank refused to let me do business with Mihoyo. I mean, I don't know what the big idea is. I'm just trying to shovel thousands of dollars to China. For the first 4 months, anytime I ever wanted to buy Welkin or BP, I had to log into Genshin on my phone and then use Google Play's PayPal integration, or I was SOL. And honestly, in a way, I feel like my payments being such a pain in the ass was a good thing. It's almost like the inconvenience was a slap on the wrist to not make impulsive top-ups. And for those first 4 months, I stayed a loyal dolphin. BP and Welkin purchases only. $15 a month, and my reward? Some absolutely insane RNG. In my very first 10 pull on the Noelle banner, I got both Noelle and Mona. But this didn't just happen on my main account. Oh no. I made a second throwaway account to record cutscene footage, and it happened again. And on that first 10 pull, I got Beidou alongside Mona and Noelle. First day playing, and you can see in my character archives that I got Amber on the 27th, then Noelle and Mona on the 28th. This would start a long, winding curse of Mona pestering the shit out of me. I also have a European alt that I used to play with friends, and on that, I've lost the 50-50 twice and gotten Mona both times. Between these 3 accounts, I've pulled Mona 7 times in total. You know, it's unfortunate because on my main, I only have 4 cons, but combined total between the 3 accounts, I pulled her enough to prestige her, and then I still have a leftover con. Mona, God, leave me alone! Now, to compensate for her being my very first wife, she is the first person I got companionship level 10 with, and I have used her on every single Spiral Abyss team since the beginning. But my good luck didn't end there. On October 2nd, after just 30 pulls on the regular banner, I got Keqing. On October 4th, not even a full week into the game's release, still free to play, mind you, I did a 10 pull on Venti's banner. 2 Ventis, 1 Diluc, same pull. Child? Oh, easy. Let me just pull him twice in 2 back-to-back 10 pulls. Oh, and look who decided to show up. Just give me 2 of them in 30 pulls. Easy peasy. Klee? Actually, I'm good. I think you can see why I didn't feel any temptation to go any further than Dolphin territory. I've become notorious among my friend group as the dude with the most insane character banner luck. I never had to worry about scrounging up enough primos or risk losing out on a character I really liked. Before the game came out, the #1 character I wanted was Keqing because I thought her character demo looked the coolest, and within 4 days of playing, I got her. As I played through the story, I only wanted Child and Zhongli. And those boys fell into place too, along with Constellations I never even asked for. It was almost a detriment. My main team for those first 4 months was Diluc, Keqing, Mona, and Venti. Not a terrible team. Diluc, Mona, and Venti work pretty well together, but Diluc and Keqing definitely don't have any chemistry together, and I definitely didn't understand how to build up proper teams, not only because I was getting hyper-carried by these 4 5-stars, but also because it made me neglect basically every 4-star in the game. Like, I didn't even touch Benny or Xingqiu until 1.6. Fast forward to Christmas. Albedo's banner comes out, and as a little treat for myself, I finally buy all the top-ups and splooge, which, if my math's right, I think is about 26,000 primos. Got Albedo no problem, and used the leftovers to get Ganyu and Shao when they came out, although I didn't get any insane double pulls like the other goons. There was an issue though. I was starting to feel a little burnt out. The end of 1.2 and 1.3 and 1.4 were pretty notorious for having a drought of meaningful content, and the fatigue of doing mindless commissions and honestly pretty below average events started to sink in. The day Lantern Ride and Xiao's banner dropped, I pulled on the banner, I got Xiao, and then I took a 3-month hiatus, hence why I only have 264 active days on my account. I missed the entirety of both Lantern Ride and the Windbloom Festival, and in retrospect, I really regret it. That Lantern Ride ending cutscene is so pretty, and all the interactions the Mondstadt goons have with each other is something that those YouTube cutscene compilations will never be able to capture in the same way that experiencing it for myself would have. And I could have gotten another Ningguang Constellation, god damn it! At the very least, during that time I did play a bunch of different games like Cyber Shadow and Xenoblade Definitive Edition, which by the way is my #1 favorite game of all time, and after my break, I came back to the last week of 1.5. Even though I missed all of Lantern Ride and Windbloom, I'm glad that I got to experience Windtrace. I managed to get Eula on one of the last days of her banner by scrounging up dailies and doing my backlog of quests, and man, let me tell you, that break was exactly what I needed. I came back to Genshin fully recharged, fully invested in all the content that now I had to play catch up on. But everything was lining up for something awful to take place. You see, I was so in love with 1.6. I was so fully invested with all the new Conria story stuff. The archipelago was leagues better than it had any right to be. Now, of course I say fuck them kids and skip on Klee's banner, cause I ain't got time to be a babysitter. Now come on, Diona, Sayu, and Chi-Chi, let's get the heck out of here. But then this gem drops. Kazuha. I have never fallen so quickly for a character from just their character demo until this point. Kazuha came out of nowhere, and he lived rent-free in my head every day until release. I had never seen a character with a more perfect mix of aesthetics than this. Every second of that demo is like a masterpiece in my eyes, and I knew I needed to splurge and get this new sun. And that's where it all went wrong. You see, until this point, I had never once summoned on the weapon banner. I knew it was a scam, especially back then when we didn't have the fate point system. But I got a pay raise with my work, and I pulled Kazuha and 2 of his constellations from a single $100 top-up. Because I was so in love with 1.6 and so gung-ho on upgrading on my boys, because I loved Kazuha so much and Freedom Sworn was such a huge upgrade for him, I thought, hey, now's the time that I get serious and I start getting some gear. Man, I don't know though. I mean, it's only a 37% chance of getting what I actually want, and I've been doing so well lately. I mean, I've been getting everything that I've wanted, and I've only spent an average of like $30 a month, if that. Do I really need this weapon when I can already clear all the content as is? Plus, Kazuha's the only one who benefits from this. You know what? No, I'm pulling out. I'm good. Come on. You know you want to pull. You're the banner goat. You give RNGesus that Soul Snatcher Gok 300 Supremo with every update. Okay, first off, kind of gross, but also, we don't need to. We already got his C2. That already gives so much elemental mastery as is. I'm sure Iron Sting will be just fine. Iron Sting? Yeah, I guess it's okay if you're a dirty prole. I don't want to be a prole. You know, he actually has a point. Being a prole would be pretty cringe. I don't want to be cringe. A little weird champ even. Super weird champ, yeah. And so it begins. First $100 top up. No Freedom Sworn. Literally the first time I've ever done a single $100 top up and not immediately gotten a 5-star out of it. Okay, hey, you know what? It happens to the best of us. I'll do another top up and I'll use the leftover primos on the next Inazuma banner. I pop another hundo and that sweet, juicy, golden 5-star appears. But there's no Freedom Sworn in that. Oh no, it's a Skyward Atlas. I pop another 2 hundo, another Skyward Atlas. Alright, I stand corrected. You suck at this, bro. Sheesh! At this point, I'm still fine financially, but I've hit $500 and the max limit I set for myself, knowing in the very back of my mind that maybe, just maybe, this won't go as smoothly as it usually does. At my lowest low, I break my limit and my promise to myself and pop another 2 hundo. If I was pulling in the current banners, I'd be guaranteed that Freedom Sworn with my fate points. But this was 1.6, and instead of Freedom Sworn, I got a, you guessed it, a Kill of Favonia. Wait, you're not even part of this banner. Get out of my house, dude. So, $100 for 3 Kazuha pulls. $600 down the drain on the weapon banner without anything to show for it. Although, hey, to be fair, this Refinement 3 Alley Hunter's pretty serious business. Okay, in retrospect, I actually am glad I got the Favonia, because it did give my Benny a huge upgrade. But man, man, just like when I got Jade Spear back in 1.0 when I didn't have any use for it, this entire thing stung so bad. I vowed to never get scammed by the weapon banner again, which is why I've pulled on it every update since 2.0. Okay, to be fair, the new Fate system is still pretty shitty, but it's still such a huge step up over the old system. It also helps that my weird RNG void went away and I was back to my old goated luck. For Ayaka, Yoimiya, and Raiden, I spent $200 each, basically $100 top up for the character banner, 1 for the weapon banner, and got 8 character pulls and 7 5-star weapons, which in total equals out to an average of $40 per 5-star pull. Although, to be fair, a huge part of that was the double top up reset that went live for Genshin's anniversary, right before Raiden's banner. Honestly, without it, that $40 would have shot up to somewhere between $60 and $70, which is still a steal for Genshin standards, but Jesus Christ, man. Paying a full AAA game's retail price for a single stat stick really puts into perspective how terrible the spending really is. I think it's very important to note and disclaim that even though my RNG and the banner pulls that you're about to see is absolutely off the walls insane, the only reason why I'm able to do this in the first place is because I'm spending way too much. Way too much. But hey, this is the big narcissist corner, so let me go ahead and show you some of my doubloons. In 2.0, I got 2 Ayakas, 3 Yoimiyas, Mist Splitter, Skyward Spine, Thundering Pulse, and a Skyward Blade. In 2.1, 3 Raidens, Thundering Pulse, Jade Cutter, and Everlasting Moonglow. I skipped pulling on Kokomi and only went for Jade Cutter, but check this out. I still have my pull history for Jade Cutter. After doing my last available 10 pull after the top up, I got Everlasting Moonglow with 1400 primos left over. I did 2 days of commissions to get back up to 1600 primos, and the very next 10 pull was my Jade Cutter. I can't make this shit up, man. If I was actually a super omega Tectone level spender, oh man, I'd probably spend like a quarter of what that man does for the same results. I'm just saying. Everything combined, all the Welkins, BP Gnostic hymns, and the surge in spending since 1.6 totals out to $1,835. Is that an insane, unhealthy amount for a single game? Yeah. Do I exist as living proof that gacha monetization is, at its core, predatory and thinly veiled gambling that can waste hundreds of dollars with literally zero payoff? Yeah. So maybe this is the copium speaking, but despite knowing all of that, I'd happily spend it again. Look, I don't want to bog this video down too much, but 3 weeks after Genshin came out, my mom passed away. She was my best friend. A year later, and honestly, I've never felt more lost and unsure about what to do with myself. Genshin came at a time when I really needed it most. It gave me a world and characters to completely lose myself in. It gave me, and honestly still gives me, the escape that I need to just cope. I don't recommend people to spend the way I have. I think at most, you should do Welkin and BP and treat this game like a subscription MMO and only rarely do a top up if you're completely head over heels in love with the character. I'm fine with my wailing though, because in my eyes, the value that this game has given me in dealing with this year has been priceless. Genshin's not perfect. Inazuma was a hot mess. Like, the main story had so many pacing and execution issues. It feels like every banner character's come burdened with weird design baggage, and don't get me started on the whole anniversary debacle. Okay, this was not a great time to be a Genshin fan, to say the least. But each time I fear for this game's future, something like 2.2 and the Surumi Island quest happens. There aren't many times where a game's side quest has made me sob uncontrollably, but man, Genshin finds a way, huh? Labyrinth Warriors, Rue's story, and man, even the Ghost side quests, everything, start to finish in 2.2, has been Genshin at its absolute best. I'm reminded that even though Genshin isn't perfect, it has always been everything I could ask for from an RPG. If my dumb, reckless spending can fuel the game that has helped me so much this year and make up for, let's say, 50 free-to-play Andys, I'll gladly do it again and again. The personal value that it has meant to me specifically has more than justified the price, at least in my mind. Mihoyo are masters of their craft, and whether it's another year or hopefully 10, I can't wait to keep whaling, and I can't wait to keep making so many incredible memories, especially now that I'm making them with you guys. So thanks a ton for watching. Liking this video and subscribing does a ton to help me out. And either way, again, if you want to see my specific builds and my thoughts on each individual character, I have another video that'll detail each of my builds and my favorite teams. Thanks again, and for the love of God, just don't pull on Weapon Banner unless you're an oil prince. Don't do it, man. It's never gonna be worth it. Go buy a bidet, man. Just like give $200 to your roommate. I mean, I'm not gonna do any of that, but I like super need Staff of Homa. Hands are tied. What can you do, right? What can you do?